All right.
That is some good old fashioned string bending rock and roll right there, Billy Bell.
You're welcome, Carol.
Scott Owens, Billy Bell, Excessive Celebration, right here on Crossover Radio, Radio with a Purpose. You can listen to Excessive Celebration on your Crossover app from 4:30 to 6:30 every Friday, and why wouldn't you? Bill, how else can people pay attention to your genius and my, as I said, observing you and your genius?
You can catch us in the Macy's Day Parade.
I'll be the big float right above Underdog.
Be right behind Garfield.
It's not a good place to be.
You can find us on Facebook, Excessive Celebration. Also, Twitter, Excessive Celebration, or at EC Sports Show.
I just don't want to be underneath the litter float that follows behind Garfield.
I just don't want to be in front of Garfield with the plate of lasagna.
Speaking of litter floats, we're going to have a quick little Breaking Bad vignette after we get through QB or not QB, Bill?
That is the question.
That is the question, and just thought it might be fun for me to share my top 10 active quarterbacks, let Billy beat up on my top 10, and then once we've done that, I think it'll be interesting to look at who the next 5 might be and how that landscape may change from the beginning of the year to the end, and we'll keep track of that and see how these teams with these quarterbacks play out. But Bill, I just had a chance to take a look at some quarterback ratings. I actually even looked at some very specific people who were looking at rating quarterbacks and ran across a couple that I thought were interesting enough to kind of combine them and then make some determinations of my own as to how I felt about my top 10.
Are you using the Madden ratings?
No,
Okay.
no.
Good.
In fact, I will share this with you that one of the people that I researched and resourced on this is a former NFL quarterback named Kurt Warner, who had some very interesting observations about some of these players.
Soccer in the business.
Oh, is that with a CK or an ALK? Well, I'm going to go with grocery stalker because if it's the other, I'm not sure he's got the best eyesight. This is based to me on the quarterback. How does he play in the biggest moments? What is his decision making? And what does that lead to in winning? And anybody that puts anybody other than Tom Brady number 1 is just a hater. Is that fair, Bill?
Agreed.
Okay.
Based on big moments and everything that he's proven, agreed.
Yeah.
All right, now
Decision making, biggest moments, winning.
Is this the best quarterbacks going into this year? Is this how we're rating it?
This is how I've rated the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL.
As of right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Number 2, I have Drew Brees. I think his ability to see the field still makes those quick decisions. And believe it or not, he broke the league's single season completion percentage record last year, 74.4%. He's not slowing down. He's got a lot better running game around him, and he's got people at skill positions that keep him where he is. But he's 2 fluke plays away from advancing in the playoffs and adding another Super Bowl appearance to his resume. So I have him second, Bill. Are you okay with that?
I would agree with that.
Now, here's what's interesting. When we talked about the 2 teams that we thought had a pretty good chance to go a long ways, they were teams that were quarterbacked by Brady and Brees. The other team we threw into the mix that should go a long way is my 3rd quarterback going into the season. I have Patrick Mahomes, number 3.
Disagree.
Who would you have 3rd?
Aaron Rodgers.
I have Aaron Rodgers 4th.
Yeah, so we would just be swapping 3rd and 4th.
Right.
And I get the Mahomes argument, but I don't know that there's a big enough sample size with Mahomes, and I don't know what Mahomes is truly going to be like without a running game this year. I don't know that they have a running back, to be honest with you, that can take the place of Kareem Hunt, because when you had West and a couple of other guys that spent time back there, not quite the same, but they're still potent. I'm not taking anything away from Mahomes, but Aaron Rodgers just knows how to win, and he knows how to win with guys that probably shouldn't be in the NFL. And for never having a running back, Aaron Rodgers puts it all on the line every time.
Yeah, but I think Rodgers' problem is he gets too eager to make something outside the pocket. I don't think he's got the pocket presence that he used to have. He seems like he's ready to bail a little earlier. I don't know if it's injuries. I don't know if it's the offensive line. I love the guy, but Bill,
you can
5,097 yards and 50 touchdowns is what Patrick Mahomes did last year.
You can kind of say the same thing about Tom Brady, though. How many times have you seen Tom Brady drop back and then there'd be a guy coming at him and he just falls on the ground? Like, he knows his limitations. This is where Rodgers kind of has that Favre in him, as much as he probably doesn't want to admit it. He tries to stretch out plays sometimes where he shouldn't, or throw the ball because he's got a cannon for an arm. But, man, can he throw the ball.
Oh, no doubt about it. And the reason he's number 4 to me and not number 3 is just the sheer athletic prowess that Mahomes brings. Number 5 is probably you're probably going to at the very least flip-flop this, but I've got Ben Roethlisberger 5th and Russell Wilson 6th.
As far as being clutch, there's like a gang of people there, so you'd even throw in like a Matt Ryan.
He's right there, Bill. In fact, if it helps any,
I'm gonna say, yeah, you're right. I would switch Wilson. I would drop Roethlisberger a little bit farther down. I'd put Matt Ryan above Roethlisberger too.
Okay, I really disagree with you there, but I could certainly see I've got Russell Wilson just below Roethlisberger. With Wilson, he plays in a run-first offense, and he's not really asked to make as many plays through the air as some of the others. Right. That's not his fault, but as a result of that, that's why I have Roethlisberger just finds ways to win that are a little unconventional at times. But yeah, I mean, I have no problem either one of those guys in that order. And then I actually have Phillip Rivers ahead of Matt Ryan. He ranks second in the NFL, 720 passes of 20-plus yards since becoming the Chargers starter. His problem is he doesn't play his best football in the biggest moments. 5-6 playoff record with a postseason passer rating of 84.2. So, you know what? Maybe I'm looking at him in terms of kind of his life's work as opposed to what he means to the team. But I got Matt Ryan right behind him at 8, Andrew Luck 9, and I've got Cam Newton number 10.
I would drop Newton off the list completely. You said Matt Ryan at 8. Who's at 9?
Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck. I think I'm not the biggest supporter of Andrew Luck. I would probably put him at 10. I think he's got to be on the list, but I'd put him at 10. Okay. I would slide, and you're going to hate that I say this, but I would slide Baker and that makes that 9.
You're telling me that Patrick Mahomes, after one season, doesn't have the numbers to justify being third with his 5,071 yards, 50 touchdowns, and making it all the way
not ahead of
to
Rodgers.
The playoff. But Mayfield belongs?
Above Cam Newton, yes.
Wow. I'm really struggling.
Outside of one lucky year that they go to a Super Bowl and get killed, what has Cam Newton done?
Well, he won the MVP.
And that one year that they go to the Super Bowl and get killed, what has Cam Newton done?
A 67.9% completion rate.
I still take Baker.
And the reason his stats aren't that great is because this is a guy that keeps drives alive by taking 1-yard plunges into the line. His stats are different. His value to me is different.
I agree. I agree.
But Yeah, I'm just.
I would see, and this is where we would differ is I I don't get the Ben argument on stuff. I get he's Super Bowl champion. He stays upright when 8 guys are hanging off. I get all that, but is he a galvanizing team guy? Does he come through in the clutch? Maybe 50% of the time. He doesn't. And is it Ben Roethlisberger doing it, or is it
For 16 years.
Antonio Brown? Yeah, but is that? I mean, this is a guy that also wanted to quit on his team and retire.
Okay,
and
but he
decided to come
didn't, and we're
back.
talking about his production value, not whether or not
But the
he's
year
your best buddy.
but the year he came back, what did they do? They had a big team dysfunction, and you get rid of Antonio Brown.
Oh yeah, and he's really proven to be a gem of a guy outside of
Hey.
that organization, hasn't
If you put a little pressure on those feet, they may turn into diamonds
he?
now.
They may. That's what makes this so fun, Bill. So we're right there. We've got that kind of top 10. Now, just to be fair, when I started looking at the next 5, the first name on my list was Baker Mayfield. Okay, so I'm not slighting him here.
Right.
I think he may be 11, maybe he is 10, but I've got him right there. I've got Goff up pretty high. I've got him higher than you would have him.
Yeah, I would have.
I've got Nick Foles up there possibly in the next 5. Maybe Watson. What about Garoppolo?
I think Watson for sure. Watson should be one of those guys that's in the 12 to 13 range. With Foles, Garoppolo, and you can probably even throw Kyler into this conversation because we don't know yet. Is what are they going to do on these teams?
Right.
Because we don't know. We kind of have a small sample size of what Foles can do, the struggles that he had, and then all of a sudden the rejuvenation of his career, and then the next season after where he struggled a little bit. I mean, we may know what Foles will do, but I don't think we truly know what Foles can do.
What about Carson Wentz? Does he belong in that next 5?
If he stays healthy, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the big if he stays healthy.
You know, Bill, I was in Florida last week and actually caught the local broadcast of Miami's opener.
Mm-hmm.
And you know who played a pretty darn good football game? Rosen. Yeah. I think he may have found a home there. But it's really going to be neat to see
He's in
who is that next group? Who is the next 5?
Rosen's almost in a lose-lose situation because I think no matter how well he plays, the team's still going to be horrible.
Oh, they are. We talked about that they're the odd man out.
So where you're drafting Lawrence or Tua, whichever one you like. So he's in a 1-year deal essentially, to where it's either going to be him or Fitzpatrick. If they find magic with one of them, great. But I don't think, no matter how well he plays, I don't think he's there. Well, I don't think he's their starter next year. I think it's going to be too early.
That's interesting. That's interesting. And, you know, I kind of hate it for you. We made fun a little bit, and you know how he acted and everything. I mean, I don't blame him. You know, if that's so, he's going to be one of the more unlucky guys to come into this thing. But you know I'll put Carr as a question mark, and I know that I don't have. I think you think more highly of him than I do.
I like the potential that Carr shows, and I know he's been in the league for a couple of years now. It's just I don't know that there's ever really been a solid line around him. The players around him have always been suspect at best.
Raiders,
yeah. You bring in a veteran like Nelson, who really at the end of his career and didn't seem like he really even wanted to play there. Crabtree was always a 50-50 player. And
what a waste of talent that dude is, Bill. Like, a real quick story about Crabtree. I got to tell this. Taking my beautiful wife, Carol, we're up at the Oklahoma State game years ago.
Oh, wait a minute. You got a wife now?
Yes, again. Okay. Well, we'll see.
Remarried during the show?
If the locks aren't changed when I get home. We're sitting up there, and we're watching Texas Tech warm up in front of us, and Danny Amendola.
Yeah.
And we're watching him warm up, and I said, Carol, watch this dude, because, and it ended up being one of those 55 to 51 games or whatever. Oklahoma State pulled it out. But I said, watch this dude. And she goes, I've been watching, I think, number 15 over there. I went, I don't even know who that is. He's a freshman. But pay attention to Danny Amendola. About halfway through the second quarter, I went, can you maybe check on some of these other guys and maybe give me a heads up on them, because that guy's not bad. And Crabtree proved to be really good. But man, what a head case, Bill.
But in either case, I don't think either you were wrong watching who you were
No,
watching.
I mean, Amendola was great, but who knew
Right.
how good Crabtree was going to. Remember that play he made against Texas and Lubbock?
Oh
The
man.
catch and the spin.
That was
Wow.
that's almost as iconic as the Vince Young touchdown in the against USC.
Yeah. I actually saw him make a play against Oklahoma State where he broke it late in the game from west to east, right down the near sideline. And I turned to Carol and I said, as tough as this is for me to watch, that's the best
Yeah.
play and player I've ever seen play
Yeah.
college football. Texas. We'll be back, Bill. Take us away, because
Yeah.
I'm having a little
You're
sick
having
moment
flashbacks.
right now.
Flashbacks.
Something like that.
You're listening to Excessive Celebration only on Crossover Radio. Find us on Facebook, Excessive Celebration. Also Twitter, Excessive Celebration. Click those links, check out those clips, and get that app.